Yo, damn, man, what's the deal, man? I know how the story goes, man. I just dropped my daughter off at daycare, and I'm heading to the motherfucking plantation, man. But fuck all that. Let's get into this shit, man. Peep game, man. We got to talk about Floyd Money Mayweather strikes again, man. Man, it's kind of wild how a dude that great and an ambassador to the sport as a participant can prove to be such a detriment to that same sport as a promoter and as a dude who's supposed to be able to scout talent and be able to develop that talent and be able to push that talent. He's done damn near everything for Tank except put him in legacy defining fights. What the fuck is going on up here? I don't even know where to begin because it's just really hard to it's really hard to dissect this because it's hard to wrap your mind around how asinine they're doing this man is, dog. Like, Floyd is a dude who has an impeccable resume. He did everything it is that he had to do to ensure that he would be remembered after he transitioned into the next life. He did everything possible. Well, not everything, but he amassed an incredible resume. He amassed generational wealth. He's the only boxer to generate damn near generate $500 million, man. That is an incredible feat in itself. And mind you, he did all of that off of playing the bad guy role. People were paying to see that man lose. I've explained that before. So you do all of these great things. You beat your arch nemesis in Manny Pacquiao. You beat the Miguel Cottos, the Shane Mosleys, Zab Judah, Oscar De La Hoya. You beat all these incredible fighters and you turn around. Canelo Alvarez, the current face of the sport. And you turn around and you do your fighter the way that you're doing it, man. Would you allow Bob Arum to have done you like this? To make you, to allow you to swerve legacy defining fights, man? To the point where your immortality was in jeopardy. Your immortality, not your mortality, your immortality. A lot of these dudes, their immortality is definitely in jeopardy because they're not doing anything to make it to that they're remembered when they retire, when they hang them up, when they take their last breath. They're not doing anything to that magnitude. You know what it's like to go through them trenches. You know what it's like to be remembered. You cried when you got inducted into the Hall of Fame because you understand how big of a milestone that is. You cried. And I don't really see you as an emotional dude, but you understood the gravity of being inducted into the Hall of Fame to where you're remembered forever. You're already perceived as one of the... It's a lot of people who perceive you as the GOAT. But, it's immortalized now because you're inducted into the Hall of Fame. So you get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then I think around about that same time, I think if not in that same speech, but in that same environment, you had the nerve to come out your mouth and say, there's too many belts in boxing, which I agree with you with. There is too many belts in boxing. And that ain't the first time that you said that, man. But the thing is this. It's contradictory. Because how dare you say that there's too many belts in the sport, then turn around and title Tank Davis as a 3-division world champion? Like, it's literally people. I've argued with people about him not. I'm like, he hasn't won 3 belts. I've argued people down, and they're trying diligently to argue with me that he has legitimately won three straps in 3 different divisions. And I'm like, no, he hasn't. It's contradictory, man. You do a lot of game goofy shit, man, as a promoter, man. I think you're the Michael Jordan of this boxing thing, bro. Like, as great as you were, you're just not really the best. I mean, now you have an eye for talent in the Tank Davis, but it's how you're using him. It's how you're managing him. Mike has LaMelo. We'll see how long he stays in motherfucking Charlotte. You dig what I'm saying? Like it's ridiculous, man. It's a lot of contradictory things that you say, man. You know, you want to say you want to be, you know, the black fighters are always left out. I want to help out the brothers. I want to look out for the brothers. I don't take an issue with that. I think it's a beautiful thing. Like I said before, there's nothing wrong with self-preservation and looking out for your own primarily. And if you can get to everybody else, you lend a helping hand to them after your own is taken care of. I get it. I get it. I love it. But in the same breath, that's not what you did in your career. We got Zab. 3 years after Zab, we got Shane Mosley. 5 years after Shane Mosley, 6 years after Shane Mosley, we got Andre Berto. So those are significant gaps in between black fighters that you actually fought, and Canelo gets chastised for this shit now. Where it's like, you made your career off of fight. They got a whole country behind them. You wanted to fight them Latinos. You wanted to galvanize yourself with a Latino fan base, good or bad, and you did that because they was paying to see you fight just to hope that you would lose. You would gain. Those are the type of fights that you would see. You didn't look for no brothers. You didn't look for no Tim Bradley. You didn't look, and he deserved it more so than anybody. You didn't look for goddamn Keith Thurman. He was your mandatory. You didn't look for that where was the help for the brothers then? Where was the help for the brothers then? And then in the now, what you want to do is you want to tell Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson to fight each other and leave Tank alone. Don't worry about Tank. As if those fights aren't big fights. Like, think about how wild that is, man. You and Leonard Ellerbe have, you know, concocted these schemes in your mind to where the fights that we've been asking for with Tank, Josh Taylor, Vasily Lomachenko, Devin Haney, Tevin Farmer, Shakur Stevenson in the now, Teofimo Lopez, those aren't big fights. Those fights ain't really that big. Even a Ryan Garcia fight isn't really that big. It's not that significant. It's not that significant. Like, oh, it ain't that drag, it ain't this and it ain't that. All right, cool. So why is it that Mario Barrios is a big fight? He's on the PBC side and he wasn't even really an accomplished junior middleweight or a super lightweight, whatever you want to call it. He wasn't no accomplished 40-pounder. He wasn't. Goddamn Rolly Romero, that's a big fight to you? The only thing that was big about that fight was the pressures and all the dumb shit, all the goofy shit that Rolly was saying to him. That wasn't a big fight. You can't play us like that. Y'all can't play. Y'all try to run these Jedi mind tricks on people because y'all think we stupid, and because y'all have been in this business for as long as y'all have been, or y'all have degrees in this particular field. Y'all think technically y'all are a little bit more savvy when it comes to, you know, as far as this field is concerned, but we know what a big fight is. We know. And Isaac Cruz wasn't that. Santa Cruz wasn't that. And look at this. You want to help the brothers out. Let's look at the surnames of Tank's last 5 fights. Gamboa, Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz, Romero. Those are Spanish surnames. Where the brothers at? Where the brothers? But you want to help the brothers out. You want to help the brothers out, but you want to tell Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson to fight each other, even though they don't even fight in the same division. Like, how you sound, bro? How you sound, my nigga? This is why you don't let motherfuckers run that game on you, man. That's the same. Zab Judah said Don King got him with the same shit, man. Yeah, man, come over here with the brothers. Don't get your what? Oh, man, them white folks don't like us and this and that and the third. Then he played that nigga out of 1.5 million of his money. You gotta be very mindful about these niggas who are union. They lead with that, because even if you can't articulate our struggle, that's soothing to another black man to hear a black man say, nah, brother, come over here and me. I got you. I'm gonna look out for you. Come get this money with me. You feel, I don't know, it just does something to you spiritually when you go and you get money with your own. Just for them to turn around and do that fuck shit. Leonard Ellerbe, oh man, Devin Haney gets paid a lot of money. You gotta pay like you weigh and all that bullshit. Y'all the money team. Y'all the money team. You ain't got 3 or 5. You ain't got $5 million to get that man. Floyd Mayweather is a nigga who prides himself on money, bro. He'll have a stack of hundreds spread across a 6-foot table, banded up, with him posting in front of the table. I'm getting to this bag. I'm getting to it. I remember watching a clip of him, and his big ass towering bodyguard is standing over him, and he's hitting the bag, and his bodyguard is making it rain on him. That was real disturbing to me, but I was like, you know what, whatever. That, you know, you're too caught up with money. It's just money. It's kind of scary. It's alarming, but whatever the fuck ever. But the point is, you getting all this cho, my nigga. You ain't got an extra $5 to get Devin to secure that fight. You can't secure that fight for Devin, for Tank. You can't do that. But y'all the money team. Y'all, man, listen, man. Y'all refuse to take the training wheels off of this dude. So when he does find, because I don't think Tank is scared of these niggas. I think y'all are using y'all influence over him to, to allure him to y'all, and bend him to y'all will. It's manipulative behavior. You see this shit from pastors shit all the time. They know you're spiritually vulnerable. They know you're mentally vulnerable, so they can take that shit and exploit it and bend you to their will and chastise you when you want to think for your goddamn self. You tired of the bit of exploitation? I want to go this way. Who doesn't want to be in the, who doesn't want Floyd Mayweather to sing their praises? You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't want somebody of that? And just even though his name, just even the amount of money. When you see Floyd, that's why all these dudes move, this PBC moves like this, because of how Floyd has marketed himself and the amount of money that he's been able to generate off of that marketing. That's what they want, and I don't see nothing wrong with that. But the thing is, y'all haven't gone through the gauntlet that he's been through, and y'all just don't, y'all not marketable like that. So when you see somebody of that stature come into your, into your spaces, and he's taking his arm around you, and he's taking to you, and he's really pushing for you as a fighter, you want that just because you idolize him. That's dope. Floyd Mayweather fucking with me like that? Hell yeah. So you just it desensitizes all of your other, your senses. It desensitizes all that shit to the point where you can't see you getting played. They throw $1 million up in your face guaranteed and the pay-per-view upside or whatever the case may be. All right, cool. Was that $7 million the same $7 million that Eddie Hearn was gonna give you to fight Tevin Farmer? And I think you could have beat Tevin Farmer. Like, bro, I don't think you've seen $7 million. You damn sure ain't seen it on no guarantee. They get to playing you, man, and you take that shit because of who he is. You, oh man, that's Floyd, that's big, bro. You want to be ingratiated by Floyd Mayweather, and you want to be ingratiated in Floyd Mayweather's, entourage, his circle, his whereabouts, anything. If you could just get next to him, that's what you want. That's what a lot of these fighters want. And you're the only fighter on his stable. Bro, like, when do we get to a point where it's like, all right, my nigga, I gotta leave the nest because this shit just ain't it. Then when do y'all hold him accountable for the shit that he says? The same shit that we chastise Canelo for. He gets none of that energy. Y'all want Canelo to fight black fighters? All right, cool. Well, why don't you want Tank to do the same? Why wouldn't you want that? Y'all didn't want it for Floyd. Y'all didn't give a fuck when it was Floyd running the show. But now that it's other motherfuckers who aren't black, y'all want them to be held to that same standard. Why are you denying these black fighters? Why did Floyd deny these black fighters? And why is he allowing Tank to do it? And y'all ain't saying shit about that. Y'all have said nothing about that. Nothing. And that's the problem. The same energy just isn't reciprocated as it pertains to Floyd and whoever it is that Floyd involves himself with. Y'all don't have no issue with the fuck shit that Floyd does, because that's Floyd Mayweather, man. All of his sloganisms and all that shit, y'all use that shit. You TBE, you know, says rule, you know, levels to this shit. I remember motherfuckers was talking about Manny Pacquiao was broke. Imagine calling a multi-million-dollar superstar boxer, an iconic boxer, a global icon broke because Floyd Mayweather said he was broke. This dude is building houses for the poor in the fucking Philippines, in his country, for his countrymen. But he's broke? Like, and I'm sure that it ain't coming out of his pocket, but what he's also doing is giving money to the poor. But he's broke because Floyd Mayweather told you dumbass niggas that he's broke. All his numbers is like, I'm arguing with niggas, oh man, he broke. I'm like, he's broke because Floyd told you he's broke. Like, you niggas just y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. And it's annoying. It's like, bro. When do we hold Floyd responsible and when do we hold his team responsible? When do we tell Leonard Ellaby to shut the fuck up? When do we allow Leonard Ellaby to stop running game? When do we allow Floyd to say, nah, you fighting Devin, you fighting Shakur, you fighting Teofimo, you fighting Josh Taylor, you fighting Lomachenko, you fighting all these fighters. You're fighting them. Y'all not gonna realize how, like, it's not gonna hit these fighters until they realize, all right, I've been retired 5 years and their name is not getting, they're not even getting mentioned for the Hall of Fame. Then that's when oh man, I was a 3-division world champion, I was this and I was that. No, you wasn't. Y'all allowing these dudes to bamboozle y'all out of position, man. They sending y'all on dummy missions. And y'all are allowing it because of who they are. That's Floyd Mayweather. He ain't gonna do me wrong. All right, cool. When you sitting there looking stupid, when it's time for you, when you want your legacy to be remembered, you ain't doing it. You haven't generated generational wealth. You haven't done that yet. Tank isn't the brightest dude. You know, he's a hood nigga, but I don't think he would. His level of hood wasn't. I don't know if it was necessarily him in the bando getting that choke, my nigga. Like I think Tank was just a knucklehead in the street beating niggas the fuck up. That's what he was about. Not getting money. I don't think he was known for no money shit. So it's easier to get played when that ain't necessarily the cloth that you cut from. Because otherwise, you would have been banged on Floyd for the fuck shit that him and Leonard are doing. Free Tank, my nigga. That's all I got to say, man. I'm outie.